Hey y'all, thank you for rocking with me through this series of Where is Daddy and Mama Going to Live? And this is part 4 of that series. So it's going to be jam packed full of information. And I just want to remind you that this series was birthed out of my personal and my professional experience of preparing to be the caregiver for my parents. And you may say, well, what does that have to do with real estate? A lot. It's not where we could just spit in our hand, shake hands, do a blood oath. That's not how this works. And a will is not enough to be able to facilitate the transfer of real estate. And the question is daddy and mama going to age in place? How long are they going to stay in the house? Are we going to need skilled nursing for the home? Are we going to need to do modifications to the home for them to be able to stay in the home? So like I said, today's going to be jam packed full of information. So now that we have all the players at the table, all the people, all the decision makers, now we need to divide to conquer this situation. Who's going to research what? Who's going to be in charge of the finances? Who's going to be the executor of the estate? And why do I say the estate? Because you want to get in touch with an estate planner so they can help you get a trust set up and get the estate set up properly, because a will not be enough. The will gives directions and directives. However, we need an estate set up and we need a trust set up so we can avoid having to go through the courts and probate. I have checks in my father's name that's made out to his estate. I thought I did all of the things right, but I didn't. I did not set up his estate. So I have to weigh the option of paying for the process of going through probate and setting up his estate, or just let the state have those checks. Also, you want to make sure whoever's in charge of the finances, they're on those bank accounts. If you're on the account, then there's no issues when it's time to close out the account. You also want to, if you're not going to be on the account, we need to know who the beneficiaries are. But I do strongly recommend that we put somebody on the account as a joint account holder of the person that's going to be handling the finances. Also, check on all the insurances, their health insurance, the homeowner's insurance, any insurances that they have, life insurance policies. Gather them together, know where they are. I strongly recommend getting a binder and putting all that information together in one place. Make copies if necessary so everybody can have one. Always have a master copy, a digital copy, so everybody that all our decision makers, they know where everything is and knows what needs to be done. Again, how are we going to handle security? Are we going to put a security system on the home? How much security? How many cameras? That's going to be very important as well. I do recommend, if you have skilled nursing coming to home, that it is a reputable company that does background checks. It's sad to say, but elderly abuse is a real thing, and you want to remedy that altogether. Now, concerning real estate, you all have a meeting and decide if they're going to age in place. What does that look like? When do you all make a decision and pivot if they need to go to skilled nursing? I strongly recommend that you also go out and view the skilled nursing facilities or senior living facilities. There are some really nice and luxury places. You want to know ahead of time what that costs, what that looks like, as well as knowing what portions of the different insurances, what they contribute towards that. The VA for veterans, they do have a benefit for assisting with the skilled facility care for a veteran. So keep that in mind. And you all, if you're going to keep the home, if they're not going to age in place in their home, they're going to live with someone, make the decision on whether or not we're going to keep the home. if you're going to rent the home, if you're going to get a property manager, if you're going to allow a family member to live in the home, make a decision on that. One of the main things I want to point out is it's going to be very important that the home, wherever the parents are going to live, make sure it is decluttered, remove all unwanted items, go through the things, go ahead and sort and figure out who gets what stays, what needs to stay with them, what we need to get rid of at a later date, that type of thing. And make sure that the home is clean on a regular basis, because they're not going to be able to do it. And if you're selling the home, you want to make sure the home is completely decluttered and depersonalized and properly staged for selling. Now, you do not have to hire a stager. Y'all, we have the power of these $2,000 phones, HGTV, YouTube, University. We can go there and we can figure out how to stage the home. Okay. I've seen where some people, when they're decluttering, they have a massive yard sale. You can have a living estate sale. There are people that do that, that will coordinate that for you. They ask for a percentage of the proceeds, but they will help you set up a living estate sale so you can sell the property. Now, if the parents have investment properties, you want to figure out how to do the 1031 exchange. If you're not going to sell the property outright, that is an option, and that's where I, as a realtor, come in at to guide you. Also, I'm also able to connect you with other resources that may be able to assist you with preparing the home for the parents to age in place. And if the family members have decided that once they pass that they're going to sell the home, then we can set up a strategic plan for that as well. So I want to remind you to get in touch with these people. Be sure to write this down and share this with your family. You want to get an estate planner. You want to make sure that the estate, the trust, and the will are set up properly. You want to make sure you know where the health insurance is, what those insurances cover, how to use those, who needs to call, all of those things. What is the homeowner's insurance? Is there a home warranty on the home? If you do not have a home warranty, I recommend that you get one. And something that I learned from an insurance broker, do not get your homeowner's insurance and home warranty from the same company, because the claims that you file for home warranty, they do count against you on your homeowner's insurance, okay? Also, if you need to get an accountant or a CPA involved, go ahead and get that in place, because if your parents have aged and they forgot to file some taxes and things like that, you want to have an accountant or CPA assist you with filing those back taxes, and if they get a refund, yay, put that in the pot to take care of them. Investments. Find out if your parents have any investments. If they do, know how that works. Know how to be able to cash that in. Just like insurance, the investments, they have to be handled a certain way. So you want to find out who they're invested with. Home warranty, I did say that. Also, pre-arrangement. What does this have to do with real estate? I'm going to tell you one of the best things I did for myself and my family was the pre-arrangement, because when the family member passes, no matter how prepared you think you are, you're not ready. And that is a devastating and emotional time, and you don't want to have to make final decisions in such an emotional state. So let's find out what Daddy and Mama wants. Do they want their ashes sprinkled in the Mississippi River? Do they, they don't care. They want to do what's most effective for you and the grandchildren. Have that conversation and go ahead and pay for in advance whatever process you're going to do with the body. Um, I know it's a morbid conversation, but it's a conversation that we need to have, and have it quickly and have it early. And like I said, for those who are the sandwich generation in my age group, 50 and up, well, 40s, I see a lot of 40-year-olds are starting to go through this as well. So 40 and up, you're in the sandwich generation where you're taking care of children, young adults, grandchildren, and you're seeing about parents at the same time. Start, as you're preparing for your parents, start preparing for yourself and make it easier for your children. And a lot of this, I've seen a lot of the stress come around, what are we going to do with mom and daddy's house? Especially if one parent passes before the other, what do we do? And this is where I can help. So we need to have a conversation and help you develop a plan of action concerning your parents' real estate and what role that plays in the estate. Then feel free to call me. And if this has been helpful to you, please leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. And if there's another real estate related topic that impacts like the whole family or group, or something you say, you know what, I don't know much about, you hear talking heads hint at it, I'm not going to tell you to come to a free webinar that I'm going to spend 30 minutes talking around what you need an answer to. If I have a webinar, I'm going to talk to you just like this. I'm going to tell you what you need. Okay? And whether you are near me or far away from me, I'm able to help you with real estate related things. And when I say real estate related, I was trying to make sure I can connect you with people that can help you with mortgage related information, as well as me assisting you with either selling or doing a 1031 exchange. What you need to do with real estate, I can assist you with that, or connect you with someone. Like I said, whether you are here or far away, I can assist you with getting those connections. So if you have any additional questions or concerns, reach out to me directly at 915-539-0524. And I'm here to serve you, because I want to make sure that wherever daddy and mama lives, it'll be right for them, it'll be right for you, and it'll be a stressless process. Okay? Until next time, remember to subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you next time. Peace.